Hey everybody, my name is Becky. I'm a destination wedding planning specialist that spends way too much time touring resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean, but someone has to do it, am I right? Every January, wedding blogs and YouTube channels roll out their wedding predictions for the following year, like they're reading tea leaves. But today I'm sharing what I'm actually seeing and hearing from my own clients and, of course, from talking to the resorts. These are not Pinterest board fantasies. These are real shifts in the destination wedding planning space. So let's get into it. Trend number one, the micro wedding movement, but with a twist. If the idea of a micro wedding is new to you, the concept is essentially that you are bringing only those nearest and dearest to you. And most micro weddings really kind of cut at 10 guests tops. So the micro wedding movement isn't really going anywhere, but here's the difference. People are taking that concept of that intimate, small vibe, but they're giving it the budget of a larger one. So you are really spoiling and giving that small group a more luxury experience. So if you bring 20 to 40 guests, but you have the budget for 80 guests, you're kind of splurging. So what we're seeing is folks bringing a smaller group of people to their destination wedding, somewhere between 10 and 40 guests, but really sharing with them a luxury experience. So we're seeing crafted cocktails instead of your standard margaritas. We're seeing exuberant amount of money spent on florals instead of just going with what's there. And here's the thing, when you're not hemorrhaging money on your per person cost, you can really put more money towards the things that would make your wedding feel a little more zhuzhed up. So if you love that idea and you were stressing about your guest list, just stop, cut it, and kind of go with this new trend. People are loving it. Okay, next up, bold is back. Color is in. Blush and sage. I'm sorry, your time is up. People want color. And I'm not talking about your standard tropical colors. I'm not talking about hot pink and bright orange. I'm talking about rich colors that are really dense. Think jewel tones, right? Think emerald greens and plums. And then we're seeing wedding couples pair that with really unique fabrics, not just linens, but velvet suits. It's a little bit more sophisticated. It's not rolled up shirts with your feet in the sand. It's definitely a bolder look, but we're seeing a lot of couples go that way. So if you were a little bit nervous to move towards colors because Pinterest is still showing you sage and blush pink, know that you're not alone. People want to make a statement. They want to go bold, and you can too. Okay, here's a trend I'm really excited about. Privacy is the new luxury. Full resort buyouts used to be a thing specifically for celebrities or the ultra wealthy. However, more resorts are allowing for full buyouts or partial buyouts to really create a unique and private space for your destination wedding. The idea of some rando in a Tommy Bahama shirt coming into your wedding really stresses some people out. And if you have the budget, there are a lot more opportunities now than ever to get a partial resort buyout and really lock down the space. And don't worry if this feels like it's something you want but could never afford. There are often resorts too that are creating more private spaces that don't require the buyout. So if you definitely want something that other people can't come into or be even around, there are definitely options. But a lot of spaces are still really in public. I do partner with some smaller boutique hotels in Tulum. So if you are considering doing a micro wedding and you want something really intimate where it's just you and maybe 8 rooms, that's an option that we can look at as well. This one I have mixed feelings on. Okay, multi-day wedding celebrations. A lot of folks are planning multiple days that have events with them. And again, I have mixed feelings on this, but it's what's trending, right? And that's what we're looking at. Well, I'm not talking about marathon events where you've overbooked your guests every single day for 4 days straight. But what I am talking about is definite time carved out more than usual. So we're not talking about just a welcome ceremony, but we're also talking about a pool party and a catamaran ride and a brunch to watch them open their wedding gifts, right? So we're talking about adding these events into the week to make your guests feel more included in your time on site. The idea is if you are asking guests to come all this way, you want to have opportunities for them to connect with you during the week, not just the wedding events specifically, but ways to connect with you and create more memories. And for that reason, I really love this. However, as someone who goes to a lot of destination weddings over the years, I feel sometimes this can really border on over planning. So you have to really be careful. You have to know your guests and know if they're going to want some time off to just rot on the beach, then maybe also allow for some of these to be optional. I would say the key to this one is pacing. We don't want to demand everyone's time all week. They're paying to be there as well, and they deserve some downtime, time at the spa, however they choose. The next trend, I am seeing way more family-friendly weddings than I am adult-only weddings. There was a while where we were seeing a lot of adult-only weddings, leaving the kids at home, and for that, I say absolutely. It's your wedding, it's your vision. How you want it is how you've got it. However, we're seeing a lot more people because they're microing down. They want those really special nieces and nephews there. They want that really special core group of family or immediate friends there. And sometimes that includes children. So I am seeing a huge surge in family friendly resorts again, which I kind of love. I really think this is rooted in people not being able to come, right? If your sister is a single woman raising 3 kids on her own and she doesn't have the PTO or the support, she's not coming. And I think a lot of folks are saying, just bring the kids. We'll help, we'll do whatever, but please bring the kids. Just come. We want a smaller, intimate wedding, but we want our immediate people there. And so that really connects with some of these other trends that we're seeing, and I'm into it. Of course, some properties are going to be better for this than others. A good kids club is going to be a must if you are planning a family-friendly wedding. So take that into consideration. Make sure there's a good family-friendly kids club. Sustainability is a huge trend in the destination wedding space, and I love it. Honestly, it's not even just the sustainability. I have seen a few of my wedding couples ask their guests not to bring presents or buy presents for them. However, they're asking them to bring or make donations to different charities in Mexico. And I think that is an incredibly special way to make a huge impact and to turn your wedding into a blessing for so many. Instead of buying your wedding decor on Temu, I'm seeing a lot of people look for local artisans to come and do wedding paintings, those live wedding paintings where you're paying a local artisan and supporting a local Mexican artist is amazing. Choosing a resort that really specializes in sustainability is another way to go. Menus that feature and celebrate local menus and decor. Really, there's so many different ways to look at this or make a sustainable or impactful wedding, and I am here for it. The next trend I'm seeing is really making your guests engaged in the actual wedding or wedding planning process. Some things that we've seen historically, but I think are making a huge comeback, are asking your guests what songs do they want to hear during their reception, right? If this song were playing, I would get up and dance. And, requesting that feedback from guests ahead of time to know what kind of vibe you think your wedding reception could be. I've also seen a lot of voice recordings or video messages to the wedding couple, booths set up at the wedding reception in order to collect all those, just really incorporating your guests into your overall planning, but also memories. And again, I think we're going above and beyond the hashtag, right? So many couples have a wedding hashtag and a wedding website. This is more, right? Including them in more. Asking them to participate in your wedding in a really meaningful way. Another huge wedding trend that I'm seeing is moments over wedding favors. Your guests don't necessarily want wedding favors that they have to pack and take home. They would rather have a really cool moment, right? So what if you took a group wedding photo and had a live artist there to paint it, right? You could do so many cool things and then get prints out to people of that actual painting. There are so many options of really cool things you could do. The idea of personalized koozies or tequila bottles or, any of those kind of things are a little bit dated. However, if you can create a really impactful memory, people will be talking about it for years. And honestly, the experiences, you might save a little money versus paying to have all that stuff brought in. Okay, and the last major trend we're seeing is creative seating. The idea of everybody at a circle table or a rectangular table in a row or in a grid pattern is kind of over. We're seeing a lot of family style, a lot of long or even serpentine tables, lots of tables connected to create a more intimate family connection. This looks especially beautiful if you're doing a destination wedding and you have the ability to have overhead fairy lighting and these beautiful serpentine or circular style tables that are all sort of connected and in this really beautiful, unique shape that connects different people so that they can chat and create those connections and memories. So, rows are out and a wedding flow for seating is in. Not every venue can pull this off. If this one is important to you, let me know because we would need to chat about it. If any of these really resonate with you, or you're trying to figure out which resorts might be the best fit for you, that's literally what I do as a destination wedding planning specialist. If you click down into my bio, you will see a link to a free guide to planning your Cancun wedding. This is the first step, right? I'm not sure if Cancun's right for me. How do I know? It's got budget information, some of my favorite resorts, how we communicate with guests, all of those things right in there. It's your launching guide, your getting started guide. I tour venues for a living. I know which properties could really deliver. So if you'd like to set up a call, we can absolutely chat about some of the best resorts for your destination wedding. And of course, if you found this helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future information that comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.